Heyo homeowners, if you are looking for ways to save time, stress, and money on your landscape, then you've come to the right channel. That's our goal here, and today what we're talking about is how to put in a fresh lawn. So what I'm going to be showing you today is how to start from scratch and put seed down on a new lawn. And the great part is that this will work whether you're reseeding an entire lawn or if you are doing just little patches here and there where you've got spots that just aren't quite growing right. The first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to prepare the soil. Now, when you're dealing with soil, a lot of times that's just brought in by contractors, or it was tilled up when they were making your house, etc. And so there's a lot of sticks and grass and rocks and weeds that are in there, not to mention weed seed, which is a whole nother story. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to pick all the weeds out, and then I'm just going to rake it. And what I'm trying to do here when I'm raking is just picking up the big clumps of dirt and the big rocks and sticks and all the weeds that I pulled out of the ground. And I'm just moving them all into one big pile and then picking them up and moving them out of there. Because if you leave those in there, what it's gonna do is when your grass comes up, those aren't gonna decompose. They're gonna be in there, and so when you're walking around in your grass, you're gonna hit different things. It's gonna make your yard uneven. So this is the part where you're really just smoothing out the soil and you're making it nice and level. So very important part to prepare the soil ahead of time. Once that's done, what you're gonna wanna do is take your grass seed and put it down. And now, just a quick fun fact about grass seeds is that they're generally considered like two kinds of grass seed that you're gonna wanna look at. There's sunny grass seed, which is meant for sunny areas. And then there's shady grass seed, which is meant for shady areas. And then there's actually another one that's like a blend between the two. And what that's good for is if you have a spot that's like sunny part of the day and shady part of the day. And here's another little thing about grass seed is that most grass seeds are actually not just one type of grass seed. They're actually like 5 or more. And the purpose of that is so that if 1 or 2 of the strands don't work, the other 3 are gonna grow in that area. So just something to remember as you're watching your grass as it's growing, just to know that, hey, if something comes up and then dies off, that might just be one of the strains that doesn't work with my yard or my soil or the specific spot where it's planted. But when you're getting your grass seed, take into consideration whether it's in primarily a shady area or a primarily sunny area, and then make your decision on what you get based off of that. Okay, so once we put down our grass seed, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put down a little fertilizer, and that's just gonna help give that grass a little extra boost and some oomph to come up over the next little bit and really take root there. Because what we're really trying to do is we're trying to put down one type of plant that is going to take over that whole area. And so you're going to have weeds pop up. It's just gonna happen. They're gonna pop up because there's weed seed in the soil itself. And so those seeds are germinating at the same time as your grass seed is germinating, and they're all fighting for the same space. What you're trying to do is just eliminate the weeds and just have grass growing up. The fertilizers give a little extra punch to everything, which will make your weeds grow really big, but that's good news because then they're easier to see and pull out. The next step, putting down straw. So some people will put down straw loose. This is fine, it's worked for a very long time. How you do that is you just grab a big chunk of straw and you just go shush it around and let that straw drift down nice and evenly coating the grass area. And that's providing insulation to the grass so that it's not buffeted by the wind and the rain. And it's getting just a little bit of protection, but also a few nutrients from the grass itself. The part about straw that isn't great is that it blows everywhere and it makes a big mess in the rest of your yard and your landscape. So to combat that, someone thought of a genius idea where you take a fishnet, really fine plastic mesh, and you weave straw in and through it. So that's what I'm using here today. And the advantage to that is that you get everything that the straw offers, but it doesn't blow as much. The disadvantage is that we're using these metal staples to hold it down, and those do eventually rust, especially if the galvanization on the outside gets any nick. And so what you might be doing is, if you don't push those deep enough, is creating sharp staples that are gonna slice up someone's feet if you're not careful. So make sure you put those definitely deep enough. And then the second thing that you're doing is you're literally stapling trash into your lawn. And so once the grass has grown and established, if you find that fine mesh, it doesn't really go away. So you're gonna have to just rip that out or tear it out. Oftentimes just a mower going over it will take care of this and chop it up into fine enough pieces that it's not gonna be an issue. So just keep that in mind. There is a third option, which is easy turf. And this is what we actually use most of the time when we are working on larger projects. And easy turf, all it is roll up newspaper pellets from old newspapers. So it's repurposing some newspapers, and then they put into it a concoction of fertilizer and good nutrients for the grass. So you actually don't even need to use fertilizer if you're using easy mulch. The disadvantage to this is that it looks kind of funny. It makes your yard look blue for a little bit until the grass comes up, and it doesn't provide as much shelter as the straw would have. Most of the time we use the straw mat because our clients are old school and they like to see straw on the ground. They think that that helps more than the easy mulch, but there are other alternatives if you're interested in that. So once that's all done, then your lawn should be ready to go. Keep it watered, but don't water it too much. You don't want to create mold and mildew underneath the straw mat and kill or rot out the grass. But what you want to do is keep it just moist enough to let that grass germinate and grow and create a great lawn for you long term. Eventually the straw mat will rot away, or you can pull it up if you see enough grass coming up and through it. Generally the grass will grow and push the straw mat up, and that's your sign that, like, hey, maybe the lawn has taken root. So pull the grass mat off, and then maybe give that grass a couple more weeks to establish. It's gonna be long in that area for a little bit of time, but that's okay, because what you're going for is a good long-term lawn and not a quick, easy fix. So thanks for joining me today. I hope that this was helpful and instructive. If so, and you want to learn more about how to do your landscape and save yourself time, stress, and money, which who doesn't want that, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the like button. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.